Hello, I'm Konstantin Sterkhov and I want to help you to start painting with watercolor. Watercolor consists of water and pigment. Water is the key element of watercolor. So I will show you how to collaborate with water and to achieve good results. When we paint with watercolor, to use water is crucial for your advantage. Let's see how it helps. Let's have just some part of paper is dry, and we can add some water somewhere. And let's see how it changes. If we take, let's say, indigo, and we will make a mark with the brush. See? This part is wet, the water just distribute pigment all around. And here is a dry paper, it's so different. And we can use it for some effects. It can be a tree, and we can do it with dry brush on, like wet brush on dry paper. And we can use also half-loaded brush for the edges. And now the trunk. And here it's already start flowing, because here it looks like water reflection. And we can paint this reflection. Also, it could be used to make something fluffy. So let's say there is a feather or something like this, and we want to make it fluffy. So I can make it wet all around. And now we can make this fluffy object. We can also use water for showing the darker background. Let's say we can take something simple like maybe a bridge. It's supposed to be water here. Maybe under the bridge something dark, and can be some details here, and some bushes behind, maybe the shore, and which is reflecting, of course. Also, this is all reflecting. So what is good to know here is that if we use water for wetting the background, in that area the paint will flow. We will know much more about it in my course Fundamentals of Watercolor. But now just a few highlights or few tips how you can use water to make it easier for you if you want to start painting. I made it wet, that area, and this area is dry. So now I just add some paint in the wet area, and it's all flows. Now that area where it's dry, you can do it very precisely because nothing is flowing there, because it's dry. It doesn't flow on dry. And you still can add something there. You still can make something darker, maybe darker bush behind. And also that part can be wetted first. And then we can paint that part. So now it's wet. We can add color or tone there. Very simple, but if you are afraid to start painting, that is a very good possibility to lose your fear, because everything is very simple when you start using all these possibilities that water provides you. Now we can add some darker, maybe some grass here. And where is meeting the water, some here would be the reflection, and that part, the shadow under the bridge. And reflection and shadow. And also you can just make the reflection of the lighter part. So you see, just with one color, but with few strokes that we applied on wet and dry paper, we made different edges and different effects. And everything what is done on wet is done by water. We didn't do much. Something what we really did here is just these dry squares there, because it was dry and we did it with our hand, but all the rest is done by water. We just applied a stroke and it was flowing. So all the flowing part is done by water. And much more about these effects and about techniques I'm telling in my course, Fundamentals of Watercolor. We can use these effects, for example, for painting cats. So we can use wetting, like local wetting, like this. Just I'm wetting this part. and I'm adding some color so it flows. And then I can do it on dry. And also there. And then I can add a little bit of water and it will flow. And also here. And inside of the ear could go also here, just making this wet and a little bit adding some paint, and it flows and becomes fluffy. Now we can also wet the muzzle. And also add some paint into it. And it flows and it makes it very soft. Like this, you can make all this pattern, and it will be looking quite nice and soft. Now also here I can add a nose that can be more precise because I am doing it on dry, so it doesn't flow anywhere, but here is soft, so it flows there but it doesn't flow here. And what about eyes? Again, that part is on dry because it's sharp. And now I want to make it softer all around the glare, so just add some water. And then the shadow there. This. Now you can take just paint without water, dry, and add there. And a little bit here. So now we have quite variable tones, and also we can make here the whiskers. And you see, with very simple methods, the same, combining wet and dry, we are having already something maybe more detailed. Of course, you can continue, you can add more details there. You can work on these details, and it will be more, maybe more expressive then, but generally that is the approach. And now just dry brush. We're going to paint much more of it in my course, Fundamentals of Watercolor. And now we just enjoy very, very simple exercises.